Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Minnesota Vikings lose in the most Vikings way possible to the Arizona Cardinals. 18 to 17. They lost another preseason game. They cannot get a preseason win since 2019. Back when Mike Zimmer was coaching, which is very interesting. But there are some takes on the game, some takeaways, and one of them is Jaron Hall had some great drives. First of all, like first half, Jaron Hall great drives. Early to mid second half, also some great drives. He tried his best to win the game, and that incredible just those moves, the incredible just like the turnarounds, just like the great feet work, moving around, throwing a hail mary for a first down if he didn't step across the line, which is kind of sad, and the Vikings defense was flashing. Jay Ward, maybe he could make the team. Jay Ward with that strip sack, and our defense as a whole. You also saw Luigi Villain, Sheldon Day flashing around, a little bit of Jaquelin Roy, a little something from him. Dwayne McBride and Abram Smith touchdowns. You know, Dwayne McBride, he was trying his best to make the roster, trying to make the team. And then Jaron Hall, QB2, I mean, he's showing his mobility. He's showing that he could be the next Patrick Mahomes. Probably not win a Super Bowl or break any records, but just be there. Be that guy who can have that incredible mobility and just be there for your quarterback. You know, he can throw on the run. He looks like one of those quarterbacks that want to throw but can run if they want to as well. And you also have constant defensive stops in the first half. Ross Blacklock with a sack too as well, and Jaron Hall was still cooking at that time. Ben Sims with a slip tackle, made a man miss, got a first down. But then towards the end of the game, man, towards the end of the game, Greg Joseph misses what could have been the game-winning field goal. I mean, come on. This is so Vikings. What's wrong with the Vikings kicking at this point? Like, it's really concerning. And I've been hearing about this since Blair Walsh missed that field goal in the playoffs back in 2015 against the Seahawks. And what is going on with our kicking? Like, oh my, are you serious? Like, I have to tell you, releasing Daniel Carlson, the next Justin Tucker, that was the biggest mistake the Vikings franchise has probably ever made. One of the biggest, if not the biggest mistake. So that's just kind of sad there. And although we don't know whether or not he would have missed kicks still if he stayed with the Vikings. You know, we don't know how Mike Zimmer treated his kickers. So it is what it is at that point. And just Daniel Carlson, man, he's playing amazingly. He doesn't miss anything anymore. And overall, I'm disappointed how we couldn't get this win. We had a 17-3 lead, and we blew it. It gave us flashbacks of 2022 on how we can only wake up when we're down and under. And every minute we struggled was another nail in our coffin for the Vikings. So, man, and then you also have the missed field goal. And Chris Boyd on the Cardinals being a clown. Like, come on. Chris Boyd reminds me of like a, let's say let's say like, you're no longer friends with someone. You're done with them. They come back and they're still goofy and they're still making fun of you about your lost friendship. Like, come on, you gotta be better. You gotta be a man for once. You know what I'm saying? And overall, it's just I'm disappointed and upset about this team, and we need to improve and fast. But hey, I'm fine with no preseason wins as long as we go 13-4 or more in the regular season, and even win a Super Bowl. I'm fine with that. I am fine with that. And everybody loses at one point in time, so it can get really disappointing, obviously, and yeah, it's all it is. It's all it is. But I do have player stats and team stats to offer, and so let's see. Starting off with the Vikings. Jaron Hall, 16 for 27, 178 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, unfortunately. Kind of a careless throw there. Dwayne McBride, 8 carries, 37 yards, and a touchdown. Abram Smith with a receiving touchdown, 5 carries, 29 yards. Put him on the practice squad, if not cut him. And then Jaron Hall, 6 carries, 21 yards. Aaron Dykes, 8 carries, 18 yards. Blake Prohl, yeah, Blake Prohl on the receiving end, 5 receptions, 45 yards. Jalen Rager, 2 catches, 28 yards. Lucky Jackson, who had an unlucky drop in practice, 2 catches, 23 yards. The rest of the guys, Tristan Jackson, 1 catch, 19 yards. Jacob Copeland, 1 catch, 18 yards. Nick Muse, 1 catch for 16 yards. And Ben Sims, 1 catch for 15 yards. Aaron Dykes, 1 catch for 7 yards. Abram Smith, his only catch was a touchdown for 5 yards. And Colin Thompson had a 1 catch for 2 yards. And on defense, Kaylon Barnes, 6 tackles. So not too bad there. Ross Blacklock with a sack. And Jay Ward with a sack, a strip sack. And punt returns, Thayer Thomas, 1 return, but, or did he, it might have been a touchback, I don't know. But, Greg Joseph, our kicker, Greg Joseph, 1 for 2 on field goals, 50% of them were made. His longest was 26 points, I believe, 26 yards. And, wait, was that 26 yards? That was weird. Either way, he missed. And you also have Ryan Wright punting, 297 punting yards, and always love to see that, except none of them were inside the 20-yard line. That could actually be downed. Ryan Wright got a touchback, which kind of sucks. And then for the Cardinals, we somehow made David Bling Blang Blau look like a god on their team. You know, we keep on making other team quarterbacks that are like no-namers, maybe even backups. We keep on making them look good. Like, who was Cooper Rush back in 2021? Cooper Rush was a no-namer until we made him popular. You know, how did we make, like, this mediocre guy who used to play on our practice squad, how did we make him look like a god out there? That's just embarrassing. That is just embarrassing. Mr. David Blau, Mr. David Bling Blang Blau. 11, can't talk right now. 11 completed passes out of his 22 attempts for 93 yards and 1 touchdown. I mean, come on, you can't give up that to David Bling Blang Blau. Come on now. And Clayton Tune, 9 reception, 9. What am I saying today? What am I saying tonight? Oh my God. 9 out of his 12 passing attempts were completed for 85 yards. Corey Clement, 79 yards on 14 carries. David Blau had a rushing touchdown. Hate that. Keontae Ingram, 4 carries for 20 yards. Stevie Scott, not a very good game, 4 carries, 5 yards. Davion Davis, 3 receptions, 43 yards. Greg Dortch, 2 receptions for 29 yards. Caden Davis, 4 receptions for 28 yards. Noah Togiai, 4 receptions, 27 yards. Blake Whitehard, 1 catch, 23 yards. And the rest are like 1 or 2 receptions and less than even 10 yards. Yeah, I'll read them anyway. Bernard Sejkovits, I tried to pronounce that. 1 reception, 9 yards. Brandon Smith, 1 reception for 6 yards. Corey Clement, 2 for 5. And Amari Demercado, hope I said that right. 1 reception, 5 yards. Keontae Ingram, 1 reception for 3 yards. On defense, Zach McLeod with 3 sacks. Ouch. Yeah, we couldn't protect Jaron Hall to save our And Cameron Thomas, a sack. And Eric Banks with a sack. And Sean Chandler with that interception. And special teams, Matt Prater actually made a few field goals, but also missed. No, he missed a few field goals, actually. 2 or 3 field goals. Yeah, he missed. Yeah, it was 2 for 3 on field goals. Yeah, indeed. And punt returns, Caden Davis and Davion Davis. Ooh, 2 Davises, nice. But there you have it. As well as Amari Demercado, 2 returns for 39 yards. And on the team side, Cardinals had 297 total yards. Vikings had 249 total yards. You also have 158 passing yards for Arizona, 144 for Minnesota, 139 rushing yards for the Cardinals, 105 rushing yards for Minnesota. Both teams were nearly equivalent. In yards per play. One side had 4.3, that was the Cardinals. One side had 4.2, that was the Vikings. The Cardinals had 18 first downs, and 18 points. Vikings had 17 first downs and 17 points. That's strange. The amount of first downs for both teams were literally the score. Like that's strange. Pretty cool actually. Third down efficiency 4 for 15 for the Cardinals, and for the Vikes 2 for 12. Fourth down efficiency 1 for 1 for Arizona, 0 for 1 for Minnesota. Cardinals had 69 total plays. Vikings had 60. Vikes allowed 6 sacks. Ooh, someone's gonna get cut on that offensive line. Cardinals allowed 2 sacks. Both teams punted nearly equivalent in the amount of times. Vikings punted 6 times. Cardinals punted 5. Both teams had penalties. Had a number of penalties that costed them equally 45 yards. Both penalties cost them equally 45 yards. With the Cardinals having 5 penalties, Vikings having 6. Vikings threw an interception, and both teams, Cardinals had 33 minutes of possession of the ball. Vikings had 27 minutes of possession of the football. There you have it. Those are our Vikings, and they lost again. I don't think that they're even going to be able to get another preseason win, but as long as we go 13-4, I am fine. I am absolutely fine. This game, I think, will be the most exciting preseason game I've ever witnessed so far. You know, I normally don't get that upset over preseason, but I am today. But until next time, thanks for watching this very long video. Apologies that it's long. My deepest apologies that it's so long. But hope you guys still watch it, tune in, and thanks guys a lot for all your support, and Skol Vikings.